Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we have a financial report to take, as well as a bunch of repairs to do. Realistically, the bull shark needs to get refit here, the salamander we definitely want back, so let's go ahead and tick on forward here.
Ready to go over financials whenever you
There's our financial report, no problem whatsoever. As soon as that goes, there we go. We're going to continue ticking here, and we're not probably going to wait on the bull shark to be finished, per se. But we are going to wait on these other mechs to finish up. Dr. Murad wants to borrow a mech warrior, huh? Yeah, that's okay. No lasting consequences. Sounds good. So we're not waiting on the bull shark to finish up, but everything else, yes. There we go. 9 days left on the bull shark. We've got 13 days on our financial report. Let's hop in the mech bay, make sure that everything is good to go. The awesome is a little bit underweight. I think that's normal. And I don't know why it was showing the salamander in the background there. That's not an awesome, but this is definitely the awesome. Yeah, we're less than a quarter ton off here, so we're fine. No problem here. Nothing else to be done there, and we want to hop into our storage here real quick because I believe we did get a couple of vehicle parts that we can get rid of. So let's just go through this real quickly here. We're going to deploy here in a moment, that is for sure. We're kind of waiting on our Flashpoint campaign to continue, but that will take a little time. That's okay. Did I miss it? I may have, but we'll see. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe there weren't vehicle components, but I swear there were. I'm probably just blind. Okay. Well, we'll just hop into the command center, and we'll just go ahead and deploy. No problem. We've already got enough to make it through this financial report, so we want to do something fairly challenging here that will pay well. Ooh. This one should be pretty easy, and it's a really good payday. There is no free priority salvage here. I think we just run it straight down the middle. And what are we going to deploy here? Well, we'll wait for that to populate. We're definitely going to be bringing the salamander and probably the awesome. We'll drop the Hector and put in the awesome. And then we'll drop, I think, the Orion. Although the Orion is pretty good. Honestly, the salamander kind of fills the same role as the Black Knight. We'll drop the Black Knight for now, and we need an awesome and a salamander pilot. So here's a salamander pilot, and now we just need an awesome pilot. That is a pilot that pilots the awesome. All of our pilots are awesome pilots. They're just not awesome pilots. Okay, so I think we're pretty much good to go here. We'll go ahead and deploy that. Yeah, the awesome has some unused tonnage. That's only 0.125 tons. We're not concerned. So that is fine. This is going to be a battle in the desert. It's only a 3-skill difficulty, and so we don't expect this to be particularly challenging. Oddly, deploying with everything but our bull shark, we're only netting a company rating of like 2.5 skulls here. That seems odd. I feel like we're punching way above that, but okay, if that's what RogueTech wants to classify us as, sure. Like, I really do think we're punching above that. To be fair, I feel like the awesome is a little bit underwhelming, and I would like to think of a better loadout for it. When it hits pretty hard, and it hits in a pretty concentrated manner, but it kind of fills the same role as the Mad Cat and the Corsair. And both of those, I feel like, kind of do that role better. So I would like to find a good replacement for the awesome, or just come up with a decent one. Maybe we should go for something built around, like, extremely heavy damage to one location, such as the variable speed pulse laser. We could consider something along those lines. It's something to think about for sure. The awesome, I feel like, is probably the most underwhelming mech that we've got right now. The Battlemaster is a little bit underwhelming, I feel like, but ultimately I think it's okay. So we need to destroy the Coalition Lance. We believe there's a Coalition Lance operating on Appian within a region we control. All local government operations are at risk, as long as this lance is allowed to move unimpeded. Patrol the area, find the enemy lance, and eliminate it. This ought to be a straightforward battle, Commander. Finding a military lance in a backwater like this should be no challenge at all. Indeed, and we're not really expecting.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Gotta love it. We're not really expecting any particular challenge.
Command interface initiated.
This is a terrible place to drop. The engine signatures we're getting are bigger than we were expecting. Okay, that's fine. We do have allies. And again, this is a terrible place to drop. I would love to drop up over here, but we do see that this might be a little more challenging than expected. We could deploy over this way and make our way in over here. Alternatively, we could deploy over here and make our way this way. And I actually really like deploying over here. Now that we have that ability to move out of a stuck location, I don't actually care where we necessarily deploy.
Why can't we fight in nice, cool lake?
Right?
Could be some prime beach real estate.
Okay.
Only there were a
So
beach.
we immediately see that the enemies are up over here. Oh, they've got a couple of heavy bombers. Good to know. They're phase 17 and 18 movers, so both of those have already moved. So we are immediately going to step forward over here. This is the Salamander.
Got it.
What do we have for range? Okay, 40% on the Ifrit. I will take that. We're going to Warlord. We do expect that these are running AMS, so the MRM-40s should probably overwhelm that AMS.
Vodka.
Indeed. Pretty good damage to that Ifrit's armor. We like it. At this point, the Awesome is going to move up over this way.
I'm walking.
And our angle is kind of weird here. There we go. We're wanting to continue to hit this same Ifrit. That's a Nidhogg, actually. We've got an Ifrit and a Nidhogg. We see a Roughneck and a Carrier as well. And we also see a couple of other units. No big deal here. Let's go ahead and Warlord. We're going to keep shooting at that Ifrit. We are hoping that it never gets to fire here.
Engaging.
That looks solid. Is AMS doing work? But that's okay.
Orders.
The Orion is going to step up over here.
Moving out.
It's going to Warlord. We're going to keep hitting that Ifrit. We expect it to be shot down quite soon. Some good structural damage there.
Tango
But the
down.
Ifrit is... Oh, it is down. Fantastic. Okay, phase 13. Our ally is shooting at this Roughneck. That looked like a mine spread. I'm okay with that. Good spot for mines, actually. Okay, so they're going to move their Roughneck currently. He's going to hit some mines. And, oh yeah, he did. Those are acid mines. I like it.
Yeah.
Our Corsair is going to move up. We need to continue to hit their heavy bombers. These continue to be a very high priority target. Our hit odds aren't great, but let's see what we can get into this Nidhogg.
Take this.
2 misses, I believe.
Damn it, I missed.
That's very sad. We don't know who their other phase 13 mover is. Oh, it's this guy. No worries there. Okay, and then Muffin Top is the one that moves next. This is our Battle Master. The Battle Master should be in a pretty decent location to also fire on the Nidhogg. Not the greatest of hit odds, but it's round 1. No hits there. Sad. Okay. Light Hybrid Carrier moves up, fires on their Carrier with Thermobarics. Does a little damage. Nothing too major, but that's okay. The Madcap Mark II is going to close in over here. We're just creating ourselves a bit of a firing line here and just trying to take out this Nidhogg as quick as we can. We've had some kind of awkward rolls here, but we also have bad odds on the Nidhogg currently. Next round, we should have much better odds, and we're hoping that it doesn't really succeed in firing on us. Phase 11 is going to be this Carrier. Okay. Nothing too major there. Wait. Wait a second. I just noticed that vehicles have heat now.
What can I do for you?
That negates another major advantage of vehicles.
No need to tell me.
If that's
twice.
true. I mean, we already don't like vehicles, so there's that. Can we fire flak on these guys? Yes, we can. We're going to go ahead and do that. Excellent. Got a structure exposure, and that is fantastic. Our friend the Hunter moves up.
Aye, aye.
There was another patch this morning, so I don't know. There was nothing in the patch notes about that. I didn't notice it last time. So I guess we'll see. Leopard inbound with Capellan markings. Okay, sounds good. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. We're just going to continue closing on in here. The Nidhogg moves soon, but the Whitworth moves up and fires on the light hybrid carrier. Does a little damage. Nothing too major. Cool. The Nidhogg closes in. Also shoots at the light hybrid carrier, only with its PPC. So the Nidhogg is dead this round. And it never got to do any damage. We're very, very happy about this. The Mauler is going to close in as much as possible. Its only hit odds are on the Nidhogg. We'll take those. Right, this is Poet. We do not have access to Warlord. It was on the turret that it was exposed, but that's fine. The Nidhogg is dead.
Smoked one.
Excellent.
They will be done.
The Awesome closes in a little bit over here.
Rolling.
And what do we have? We have the HVAC carrier and we have the Whitworth. Odds are not great on either, so we'll just fire on the HVAC where they're a little bit better.
Locking target.
We got a little damage in there. That'll work.
Ready for orders.
Our Orion is going to close on in.
Copy that.
And we are going to continue to fire on these guys. The HVAC is the obvious choice.
Confirm.
That could easily be a kill, and indeed it is. So the Coalition Lance is 75% gone. All that's left from that is the Whitworth, and I think the Support Lance only has the Ryokan 2 and the Roughneck.
Commander.
The Salamander is going to close in as much as it can,
No shooting. Just running.
and we're going to fire on that Whitworth. 51% hit odds. We'll take it. Sounds good. Let's see what our allies do. Light hybrid carrier moves up, fires on the Whitworth. I love it. We're going to make him unsteady. And put some heat in there. Phase 13 is going to, of course, be the Ryokan 2. We'll see what it does. Backs off a little bit into the hostile drop zone. Fascinating. Those are Capellan markings, so we don't expect them to be friendly to the Coalition forces. The Madcat Mark II moves up, and we're going to fire on that Whitworth. Sadly, our hit odds are still pretty bad. Interesting. That'll do it. Okay, no hits there.
That didn't hit.
No. It wasn't very likely that it was going to hit, to be sure. The Hetzer moves up, does not fire. That has a thumper on it, so it's probably just out of range. Roughneck closes in a bit, fires on the light hybrid carrier. Dual PPC there, missing both of them. Cool.
Yep.
So the Corsair is going to step forward. We can fire on either of these. Hit odds are reasonable to not reasonable. So we'll fire on the Roughneck, obviously. Only like 39 damage, but we did get a head hit there. That's neat. Firing on that Roughneck, getting a little damage in. Fast cam carrier, not really doing too much of note.
I'm here.
Battlemaster steps forward, and we're expecting that we still have the better hit odds on the Roughneck. That is true.
Locking target.
Only 36 damage in there, but the Battlemaster is really not designed for these engagements.
Waiting on you,
The
Commander.
Boar's Head steps forward.
Moving to position.
It can fire on either of these. I mean, we obviously don't want this in flak mode. Direct mode is probably the best goal here. Yeah, we're going to fire on the Roughneck with that.
Take this.
There is a backstop there, so that is completely fine. And the Roughneck is now unsteady. And there's the Capellans. Walking salvage, huh? Yeah, that's not going to be a thing. We do immediately see that they have another heavy bomber over there. The Whitworth moves and fires on the Ifrit. I love it. Popping that AMS, not getting any damage, but that is fine. So over here, there's the Ryokan 2, there's the Ifrit, there is the Chasseur, and there's the Hunchback, and there's a squad here. Now, this is that rework of the battle armor that I was talking about last episode. We'll see how that goes. So the Salamander is going to close in over this way, and we're going to fire on that Roughneck. We could easily see a kill here.
On it.
Show me your war face.
That was a lot of damage, not a kill.
Reporting. Critical.
It is a knockdown, and that Roughneck, not doing so well. And actually, that takes him down. So the Coalition Lance is gone. We still need to destroy the Capellan Lance as a main objective here. The Hunchback moves up, goes probably for the Ryokan. Actually, it just doesn't fire. Our Hunchback is not in direct LOS of this or rather, our Awesome is not in direct LOS of this Whitworth. So we're going to just sprint up over here.
Full throttle.
And honestly, I think that we're going to toss the LRMs at the Ifrit. We want to get that AMS taken care of. We're not expecting hits here, to be clear. We want to pop the AMS as much as possible. So let's see what our allies do. Mines here would be amazing. And that's exactly what they do, I think. I think those were mines. Okay.
You.
The Madcap Mark II is going to sprint off over this direction and just chill.
Yes, Commander.
The Orion up over here. Once again, we want to toss as many missiles as possible at this Ifrit.
Target
Okay.
acquired.
AMS going off is fine. That's exactly what we want, is the AMS going off. We haven't managed to hit it yet, but we have triggered that AMS a lot. The Chasseur moves up, takes landmine damage. I love it.
Yes, Commander.
Our Mauler is going to sprint forward over this direction. We want to climb this hill, and that's going to take a little bit of time to get LOS over there.
Hey.
Our Battlemaster also wants to climb the hill.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay. The Hesser moves over, does not fire again. That makes me sad.
I hear
Our
ya.
Boar's Head, on the other hand, is going to move up over this
On
way.
my way.
And we do have a bit of a heat concern, but we're going to drop artillery on this squad. It's centrally located, and we're not, I think, going to bother firing the LRM-20 because of heat. We'll just do this.
No sweat.
Excellent. We saw a structure exposure, but I'm not sure on what. Hunter moves up, fires on that squad. Once again, triggering the AMS. This is good.
What do you need?
Our Corsair is going to sprint forward over here. It also needs to climb the hill to be relevant. And we'll see what the enemy decides to do. This is phase 10. I think the Ryokan hasn't moved yet. There it goes. It fires on the Chasseur and actually kills it. Beautiful. Good job, Ryokan. Good job. We'd love it if the Ifrit would come in and kill the Ryokan at this point. The light hybrid carrier is going to fire on the Whitworth. Getting those thermobarics in there. That's okay. AMS out of ammo we saw. Fascinating. But I don't think that was the Ifrit's AMS. I think that was a different AMS entirely. The Awesome is going to move up here, and let's test it. It was the Ifrit on the turret that had the structure exposure. Yeah. So the AMS Mark II is out of ammo on the Ifrit. It does still have the missile AMS. Whitworth moves up, does not fire, and shuts down. We might be able to take that out. Let's see what these guys decide to do, though. They've got the Ifrit. It can fire on the Ryokan, which it did, and then it didn't move.
Yep.
Fascinating. Our Corsair is going to move over here. This is just a free shot on this Whitworth. We could easily kill the Whitworth here.
Firing.
We didn't, but that's okay. We're kind of hoping that the squad goes for the Ryokan here. And that's exactly what's happening. But I think it missed everything there. Sad.
Commander?
Okay, our Madcap Mark II is going to move up and hopefully finish the job on this Whitworth. Yeah, this should be dead. Not if we hit like that, though. That was some terrible shooting.
Inflicted.
He ejected, though, so we're fine.
Yes, Commander.
The Salamander is going to sprint over here. Now, we don't get LOS yet. That'll be next round that the Salamander gets LOS. We're going to drop our ATM-12 on the Ifrit. We don't necessarily expect damage here.
Taking the shot.
Indeed.
I'm here.
The Battlemaster is going to continue to sprint up over into here. Now,
Okay.
if the Ifrit comes over here and drops AoE, we could take a lot of damage. But we're kind of gambling that the
Waiting for orders.
Orion and the Atlas are going to be able to shoot down the Ifrit before then, or that the Ifrit will be distracted with the Ryokan 2. One or the other. We're going to Warlord this, and we actually expect that this could kill the Ifrit. We'll see if it does. It does. Beautiful.
Hostile removed.
Okay. So the light hybrid carrier moves up and fires on that Hunchback. Gets a little bit of AoE damage into the Hunchy. Sounds good.
Waiting on you, Commander.
Our Boar's Head is going to
Got it.
close in a little bit. Once again, on the squad, we're going to drop our artillery.
Here it comes.
Solid damage there.
Want some more? Huh?
That squad has taken a lot of damage. The fast cam carrier also going for the squad. Not getting a whole lot done there, in all honesty. Okay, Hunter moves up, does not fire. The Ryokan 2 moves in, goes for the squad. That's probably a kill. Apparently not. I mean, it looks like it did take down... Oh, man, this frame rate while they're calculating. It did take down all but one member of the squad, though. So that's good. The Hunchy going for the Ryokan is great for us. We're very pleased about that. The Hetzer moves up, goes for the squad. This is a really wide shot and getting absolutely nothing done there. Okay.
Commander?
The Mauler is going to sprint up over here.
Affirmative.
Okay. And the Awesome may be able to get some LOS squeaked out here. Actually, the Awesome should be reserved. Past the Salamander is the answer.
Commander.
The Orion can move up, and we're going to go for the kill on that final member of the squad. You can see here, these three are all dead. This unit, not so dead. This is the rework again of the infantry system. We're not expecting too much damage here, but we don't need too much damage here. Apparently that member of the squad still has some decent armor. The Battlemaster is also going to be reserved past the Mauler and Salamander. So that is fine. The Madcap Mark II can sprint on forward. It doesn't have LOS and is not going to be useful this round.
Standing by.
Now the Salamander actually can't make it up this embankment. For some reason I thought that we'd be able to. You know what, though? We could try out this careful maneuvers. That allows us to climb the cliff.
Got it.
I feel like it's not intended to be used that way,
Daniel.
but it is fairly funny.
On my way.
Neat. I mean, it's very slow. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to try it out. The last trooper going for the Ryokan 2 there. Okay.
Awaiting
The Mauler
orders.
is also going to do careful maneuvers. Look at that. The Mauler gets LOS on the Ryokan 2 here. Beautiful. Light him up. We did a through armor double heatsink destruction. Okay.
Reporting
Would have liked to
critical
capture that double heatsink, but it's all good. Hesser moves up, fires on the squad. That could be a kill. It is not. Instead, it's some armor shred. Phase 13 is the Hunchy. Moves into the rear arc over there, but actually fires on the Mauler rather than on the Ryokan. Misses everything. So, cool.
Hey,
Our Battle Master can close in over here, and we now know that the better place to go is here rather than here. That's okay.
Yeah,
Our Corsair closes in as well.
let's move.
What can I do
And
for
the
you?
Boar's Head steps in.
Coordinate
And once
proceed.
again, we're actually going to target the Ryokan here because that's centrally located. We're not going to fire the LRM due to heat.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Okay. Good damage there. The Hunter closes in, fires on the squad. Gets nothing done there. Wildly off target. I mean, when it's just one infantry, that's not shocking. I was hoping that it would get leveled by the artillery, but that did not happen. The Ryokan turns around, fires on our Orion with something that doesn't actually fire. Okay. TBM carrier firing on that squad. I think it did more to the Ryokan. More mines going into that area. And the fast cam carrier just kind of running around. Sounds good. We'll get them wrapped up, I think, pretty close to this round.
I'm here.
The Battle Master will have to be reserved. And I am also noting that that climb seems to be moving them back in the order here. So that's interesting to note as well.
Yes, boss.
The Salamander is going to continue to do careful maneuvers and position here.
Heading out.
Then we're going to fire, I think, on the Hunchy. That's what our hit odds are best on, and we'll go ahead and do that. This Hunchy could die here.
Here we go.
Let's see what happens. It's a lot of damage into a knockdown. It's not dead, but maybe it ejects. No? Okay.
Good to go.
The Madcap Mark II should actually be reserved. And actually, it may have just been the reservate. Well, we didn't reserve these guys.
I await your command.
So that's definitely something that's interesting to note. We can come up here with the Awesome, and that gives us LOS on the Hunchy. This should be a guaranteed kill on the Hunchy. There we go. Now all that's left is the one infantry and the Ryokan 2.
What do you need?
The Corsair is going to position up here, where it can start climbing the embankment next round. The fast cam carrier is going to continue to attack that squad and continue to utterly fail. It seems like the targeting systems think it's up here when it's over here. I don't know.
I hear
They're
you.
consistently overshooting that.
Affirmative.
We're going to drop our artillery on the Ryokan and just hope that we hit the squad. We'll see if it happens.
You betcha.
Structure exposure, but we did not hit the squad there. That's okay.
What now?
The Battle Master has to be reserved. The Hesser moves up, fires on the squad. Once again, hitting where the majority of the squad members died and not where the living one is. I'm wondering if that's a bug. Some damage to the Salamander there. Is that the first damage we've taken this mission? It might actually be. The Battle Master is going to need to the Mauler is going to need to careful maneuvers over to, actually here should be okay.
Affirmative.
And then we'll fire on the Ryokan 2. We're not expecting too much for hit odds here, so we'll just fire like this. This could kill it, but I doubt it will. Yeah, that's fine.
Ready for
The
order.
Madcap Mark II is going to close in over here where it can start climbing the hill eventually. But we don't expect it to be necessary. The hunter moves up, fires once again on that squad, still attacking up here. Right where all of those other ones died. I feel like that might be a bug. Some good damage to the Ryokan 2 there. That said, the Ryokan 2 is going to be dead next round, guaranteed. The Battle Master, we are going to go ahead and have it climb up the hill here. It does not get LOS here, but that's okay.
Standing by.
And the Orion is going to move up.
On my way.
And we're going to launch these at the Ryokan 2. We're going to do this because I don't have faith in the indirect targeting to shoot the actual correct unit. Getting some crits into the Ryokan 2 there. Actually, some really solid crits there. But not quite a kill. It's incredibly close, I feel like. The Salamander is actually still needing to carefully maneuver up over this way, surprisingly. And we'll finish off the Ryokan. This is a guaranteed kill. I'm in fact not going to fire the medium lasers. There we go. And all that we need to do is eliminate this guy now.
That's a kill.
Sadly, the thermal exchanger exploded. The squad moves in and is now in direct LOS. Fires on the Salamander. Doesn't get much done there.
Oh, I'm taking heat damage.
Okay.
I live
So the Awesome can actually fire at this guy right from where he's at. We're not going to fire the heavy PPCs, but everything else. Only the missing ones are going up here. The non-missing ones are going to the correct target. Interesting.
Awaiting orders.
Well, the Mauler will finish the job. This is pretty much a guarantee.
Copy that.
There we go. Fantastic.
Enemy down.
Well, that was definitely an interesting experiment with the new troop system. That's fine.
Mission successful.
And honestly, we took barely any damage. Only the Salamander took a decent chunk. I don't remember any other major chunks of damage. There was probably a little bit here and there, but that was not bad. We were definitely very profitable that mission. There is no doubt about that. As far as actual damage numbers, I mean, the Salamander took enough to be a decent chunk of cash, but not too bad, all things considered, I feel like. So we'll continue here, and what do we actually want? Ifrit parts. Actually, Nidhogg parts are probably worth more. Yeah, Nidhogg parts. Excellent. And we got an AMS flare, always nice to have around. Chaff countermeasures are good. Combat shotgun we'll keep around. Heavy rocket launcher 20s, cool. Mag shot, nice. We got a case, we have a couple of those, and I always neglect to use them anyway. Standard fusion engine and caseless AC-10 ammo, sure. All told, not too bad. I think that the Salamander is probably going to be on the order of 40,000 C-bills to repair. The others will probably add up to be, if they even took damage. I don't directly remember that they did. But if they took damage, I think they'll add up to be maybe along the lines of 20k. So I'm expecting like kind of a top end of 80k, and like the range band would be like 40 to 80. I might be a little bit underselling the Salamander repair. It did take that large improved heavy laser hit, but I feel like that'll be somewhere around where it's going to be at. We're definitely making a profit with that mission. No doubt about it. It is, however, time to put a cut in here. So as soon as we know, 20k. Oh, wow. I was way overselling that. Okay, I'm fine with that. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, it was only the Salamander. Next episode, we are going to get these repairs finished up and continue our deployments. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.